English learners, welcome back to the Cody English. Today, we're diving into something super personal, your personality. I'm Cleo.
And I'm Cody. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Okay, Cody, before we start, I have a confession.
Oh no, what did you do?
So last week, I took one of those online personality tests, right? The ones where you answer like 60 questions.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Those things take forever.
Right. And at the end, it told me I was, and I quote, a rare personality type found in only 1% of the world's population.
Let me guess, you felt super special for about 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Try 5 seconds, because then I showed it to my friend and she got the same result.
Classic. So suddenly you're both the rarest person on Earth.
Exactly. But here's the thing, it actually made me curious. Like, what is personality really? Why do some people love being around others and some people want to stay home with their cat?
And why do some people make decisions with their heart and others with a spreadsheet?
I feel like that second one is you, Cody.
I mean, I do like spreadsheets, I'm not gonna lie.
Today, we are talking all about personality, what it is, why it matters, the different types, and how understanding your personality can actually change your life.
And honestly, this is one of those topics that touches everything. Your friendships, your work, your relationships, how you handle stress.
So glad you're here with us today. Whether you're someone who already loves personality psychology or you just clicked on this episode because you're curious about yourself, this one is for you.
And here's the deal. If you stay with us until the end, you're going to walk away with real vocabulary, real insight, and honestly, maybe a better understanding of yourself and the people around you.
That's the goal. Okay, so Cody, let's start from the very beginning. What even is personality?
Right, so in the simplest way possible, personality is the unique mix of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that makes you you. It's how you naturally respond to the world.
So it's like your default setting?
Exactly. Like some people's default setting is walk into a room, start talking to everyone. And other people's default is walk into a room, find a corner, observe.
I'm absolutely the find a corner type at big parties, but then I get comfortable and I won't stop talking.
See, that's actually really interesting because that right there shows that personality isn't always black and white. It's more like a spectrum.
You mean like it's not just you're this type or you're that type?
Exactly. Most of us have qualities from different sides. You might be mostly introverted, but still love deep one-on-one conversations.
Oh, that's so true. I think a lot of people get confused about introvert and extrovert. They think introvert means shy.
And that is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. Introvert just means you recharge by being alone. Extrovert means you recharge by being around people.
It has nothing to do with being scared or being loud.
Nothing. You can be an introvert and be an amazing public speaker. You can be an extrovert and still be kind and thoughtful.
Okay, wait. Here's the interesting part. I read somewhere that our personality starts forming really, really early, like even as babies?
Yes, psychologists actually use the word temperament for babies. It's basically the early version of personality, how reactive you are, how you respond to new things, how easily you get upset.
And that carries into adult personality.
A lot of it does. Some researchers say personality is about 40 to 60% genetic, so part of who you are was literally in your DNA before you were born.
That's kind of wild. Like, I didn't choose to be this chaotic, creative person. I was just born this way.
Chaotic creative is a perfect description for you, honestly.
I'll take it as a compliment.
But here's where it gets more complex. The other half of personality is shaped by your environment, your family, your culture, your experiences.
So it's like nature gives you the ingredients, but life is the cooking?
Oh, I really like that analogy. Yeah, exactly. Same ingredients can make totally different dishes depending on how they're cooked.
Okay, so let's talk about the personality types thing, because I know our listeners have heard of these, like the MBTI, Myers-Briggs, the one I was taking.
Yeah, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It's probably the most popular personality framework in the world. It puts you into one of 16 types based on 4 things.
Right, like introvert or extrovert, which we already talked about. What are the other ones?
So the second one is how you take in information. Do you focus on facts and details, or do you focus on the big picture and imagination? They call this sensing versus intuition.
Oh, I am definitely the big picture person. I sometimes forget the details completely.
I've noticed. And the third one is how you make decisions, with logic and analysis, or with feelings and values. That's thinking versus feeling.
And I feel like this one gets people the most because society sometimes says logical is better than emotional.
And that is so unfair. Feeling-based decision makers are often incredible leaders because they deeply understand people.
They have empathy, which, by the way, is one of the most powerful personality traits a person can have.
100%. And the fourth dimension in MBTI is about your lifestyle. Do you like things planned and organized, or do you prefer to be flexible and go with the flow? That's judging versus perceiving.
Okay, I need everyone to know I am a perceiving person to my core. I have zero interest in rigid schedules.
And I love a plan. Surprise, surprise.
You and your spreadsheets. But see, this is what makes the two of us work well together. We balance each other out.
And that's actually one of the most practical uses of understanding personality in relationships, at work, in teams. When you understand how people are wired differently, you stop taking things personally.
Wait, say more about that, because that feels really important.
Okay, so imagine your coworker never responds to your messages right away, and you're someone who replies within 2 minutes. You might think, do they not like me, or are they ignoring me?
Oh, I have felt that so many times.
But maybe that person is just an introvert who needs time to think before they respond. They're not being rude, they're just being themselves.
And if you knew that, you wouldn't feel hurt. You would just understand.
Exactly. Understanding personality is basically like getting a manual for the people in your life.
This is where things change for a lot of people, I think, when you stop judging people for being different and start trying to understand them.
It really does shift everything.
Okay, so can we talk about the Big Five? Because I know some people say MBTI isn't that scientific, and the Big Five is the one that researchers actually prefer.
Yes, great point. The Big Five is the model that's most widely used in psychology research. It looks at 5 core traits.
Give us the list.
Okay, number 1 is openness. That's how curious and creative you are, how much you enjoy new experiences.
High openness equals loves trying new things, loves ideas, loves art and music.
And low openness prefers routine, tradition, the familiar. Neither is bad, they're just different.
Okay, what's number 2?
Conscientiousness. This is about how organized, reliable, and goal-driven you are. High conscientiousness people are the ones who never miss a deadline.
I admire those people so much. I want to be them.
You're working on it. Number 3 is extroversion, which we already covered. How social and outgoing you are.
Number 4?
Agreeableness. How kind, cooperative, and trusting you are. High agreeableness people are the peacemakers. They hate conflict.
Oh, I know someone like that. My friend always says it's fine, even when it's clearly not fine.
That's high agreeableness in action. And number 5 is neuroticism. How easily you experience negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and mood swings.
And just to be clear, high neuroticism doesn't mean you're weak, it just means you feel things very intensely.
Right, and actually some research shows highly neurotic people are also very self-aware and empathetic.
You feel more, you understand more.
There's a trade-off with everything.
Okay, I want to talk about something a little more real life now, because here's something I've noticed. People can act very differently depending on where they are, like work personality versus home personality versus friend personality.
Oh, this is a really good point. Psychologists call this context-dependent behavior. Your core personality stays the same, but how you express it changes with the situation.
So at work, I might be more focused, more professional, but at home, I'm loud and weird and dancing in the kitchen.
I've seen the dancing in the kitchen. It's a whole thing.
But my core is still the same person, creative, emotional, spontaneous. It just looks different in different contexts.
And I think this confuses people sometimes. They feel like, am I being fake when they act differently at work versus with friends?
Right, like, am I a fraud?
No. Adapting your behavior to different situations is actually a sign of emotional intelligence. It's healthy.
You mean like you're still you're just speaking a different dialect of yourself?
Yes, that is such a good way to put it, a different dialect of yourself.
Okay, I want to bring up something that I think a lot of our listeners might relate to. Can your personality actually change over time?
So this is one of the most debated questions in personality psychology, and the short answer is yes, but slowly.
Really? Like people actually change?
Research shows that across your lifetime, most people naturally become more conscientious, more agreeable, and less neurotic as they get older.
So people get calmer and kinder as they age. That's actually hopeful.
It is, and on top of natural change, deliberate effort also works. If you consistently practice being more patient, over time, it becomes more natural to you.
So you can actually train your personality a little bit.
You can. You won't turn an introvert into an extrovert, but you can grow, you can develop.
I feel like I've become more patient over the years. Like past me would have lost her mind in situations that now I can handle pretty well.
Growth, that's what that is.
Okay, wait. I want to bring up one more thing that I think is so interesting, the idea of personality in different cultures.
Oh yes, this is fascinating.
Because some of these personality ideas, like be assertive, speak up, stand out, those are very Western values, but not everyone grows up with that.
Exactly. In many East Asian cultures, for example, humility, group harmony, and not standing out are seen as virtues. So someone who seems like quiet or reserved might just be acting according to their cultural values, not their introversion level.
And that person might get labeled as shy in a Western work environment, which isn't fair at all.
It is. Personality can't be fully understood without cultural context.
This is why I think personality frameworks need to be used with a lot of care. They're tools, not boxes.
Really well said. Use them to understand, not to judge.
Okay, you know what time it is. Vocabulary moment.
Let's do it. We've been using some really great words in this episode.
First one, and this is a big one, introvert. Someone who gets their energy from alone time, from quiet, from their own inner world.
Example, she's an introvert, so after the party, she needed a day alone to feel like herself again.
Love it. Second word, empathy. The ability to understand and feel what another person is feeling.
Example, he showed real empathy when his friend was upset. He just listened and didn't try to fix anything.
That's so good. Third one, conscientious. Being careful, responsible, and doing things properly.
Example, she's very conscientious at work. She always double-checks everything before she submits it.
Okay, fourth, temperament. This is your natural, inborn way of reacting to the world, the early version of personality.
Example, even as a baby, he had a calm temperament. Nothing seemed to stress him out.
And our fifth word, spectrum. A wide range with two extremes on either end, and everything in between.
Example, Personality isn't black and white, it's a spectrum, and most of us are somewhere in the middle.
Perfect. Okay, those 5 words are your homework, English learners. Use them this week.
Put them in a sentence, put them in your notes, put them somewhere.
All right, let's bring it home. Recap time. So today we talked about what personality actually is. It's your unique mix of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, your default setting.
Exactly.
We talked about how it's shaped by both genetics and environment, nature and nurture working together like a recipe.
Right, the ingredients and the cooking.
We looked at 2 big frameworks, the Myers-Briggs 16 types and the Big Five traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
Good point, and both of those are tools for self-awareness, not labels to box people in.
We talked about how your personality can show up differently in different contexts, and that's not being fake, that's being adaptable.
Emotional intelligence right there.
And we talked about how your personality can actually grow and change slowly over time, and how culture plays a huge role in how personality is expressed.
That cultural piece is so important, and I feel like not enough people talk about it.
Same. Okay, Cody, final tip from you?
My final tip is this. The best thing you can do with personality knowledge is use it to build bridges, not walls. When someone is different from you, get curious instead of frustrated. Ask yourself, how might they be seeing this differently? That question alone will change your relationships.
I love that. Get curious, not frustrated.
Simple but powerful.
Okay, we want to hear from you now. Here is our question for today. Think about one person in your life who is very different from you in personality. How do you two get along? Do you balance each other or do you clash? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one.
We really do. Your comments make our day.
And if this episode gave you something to think about, share it with one person who you think would love it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now so you never miss a daily episode.
We're here every single day with new topics, new vocabulary, and good energy.
That's a wrap on today's episode of the Cody English. Thank you so much for being here.
Take care of yourselves, keep learning, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.